Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with a final hot take on the headlines here. We're just going to go through some headlines. I do have a Bitchute exclusive today. Just so you know before we get started, I wasn't going to do a Bitchute exclusive, which is why I didn't mention it in my other videos. But after I shot it, I said, well, this probably isn't going to fly on YouTube. It's about pronouns. It's an article about neo-pronouns on the New York Times. So, as you can imagine, I'm a little wary about putting that one on YouTube. So I moved it for a Bitchute Rumble exclusive. So please, if you haven't already, join us on Bitchute and Rumble. Right, Joan? All right. All right. All right. Say bye-bye. Joan's going bye-bye. She's very antsy these days. I don't know why. I don't know why. Here's your cushion. There you go. Go sit on that. But let's get into some of the big headlines here. The biggest headline, Caitlyn Jenner gets help from former Trump ally with potential run for California governor. I don't know if she can be governor. I think, you know, before she was trans, she was very Republican. But I don't think she likes Trump very much. So I'm really not sure where that's going. I don't know if that's realistic, although, you know, with all the virtue signaling going on in California, maybe they would just vote for her because, like, oh, I voted for the first trans governor, and the Democrats would embrace her simply because of their woke ideology. Would she be a good governor? I don't know. Anybody at this point would be better than Gavin Newsom. So Boston hospital set to offer preferential care based on race. Yes, it is that bad. The woke now have decided to offer preferential treatment based on race, and they don't see anything wrong with that. Well, I look forward to the many, many lawsuits you will have to field, and I hope they literally sue you out of existence, you racist idiots. So good luck. And speaking of crazy, Nancy Pelosi says border situation has improved under Biden. You didn't have a stroke. I actually said those words, and this is actually what the article's about from Summit News. Nancy Pelosi says border situation has improved under Biden. Has improved. She says, the fact is that we're on a good path on the border under the leadership of President Biden. We were in a very bad situation under the Trump administration. How? By what metric are you measuring the border? There are now over 17,000 unaccompanied migrant children in facilities that are only equipped to hold a few hundred. Conditions are squalid, with both illegals packed in together with sleeping on concrete floors. Many are suffering from diseases, including the beer virus. That did not happen under Trump. It just did. He was keeping the numbers way down. Therefore, the same facilities had less people in them. He was sending people back. You were idiots for doing this, Nancy. You're an idiot. That's all I could say at this point. It's not even a discussion anymore. You just see a headline and an article about the Democrats, and you just know it's going to be a complete and utter S show where they defend the indefensible. The media backs them 100%, and you just go, how do these people keep getting away with this? This is on you, Democrats, and until you turn this boat around, you, as I mentioned in my first video today, you should read The Suicide of the Liberals. It's an eye-opening article about pre-Soviet Russia, and the same exact thing happened. The liberals financed and helped their own destruction. They financed these revolutionaries. They fought for them to keep them out of prison and sent them right back on the streets to continue to destroy everything. It's exactly what you're doing right now. You're financing these people. You're voting for these people. You're voting for your own destruction. If you hate yourself that much, you can take care of yourself. You don't have to take us down with you. We don't want to be destroyed. We don't feel your guilt. Get some damn therapy. YouTube CEO, it's easy to make up content and post it from your basement. We boost authoritative sources. Okay. The same leftist people who say corporations are bad allow corporations to do this. YouTube is a corporation. Google is a corporation. They're the biggest corporations now. Oh, but let them determine who your authoritative sources are. Other corporations. There are now more jobs available than before the pandemic. So why aren't people signing up? Well, probably because there's so much unemployment to go around. And they're petrified of going back to work, a lot of them. I mean, in New Jersey, when you fill out the unemployment section, you have to put down a COVID reason. There's no other way to process your thing. And the choices are like, did you quit because you're afraid of COVID? Like, since when is that a reason to get unemployment anywhere? Well, I quit because I'm afraid. You might as well just hand everybody communism at that point. Living large, Marxist founder of Black Lives Matter buys $1 million home near Malibu. A woman who is the co-founder of BLM, Black Lives Matter, an open communist who wants to destroy capitalism, is living in a $1.4 million mansion. Let that sink in a moment. Those of you who are stupid enough to donate to BLM. If you're stupid enough to donate to BLM, you really need to rethink your life. Because this is where your money went. She is living large. Oh, but rock the system. Break the system down. Somehow I think if the BLM protesters showed up to her house and started wrecking things, she'd suddenly love the police and call them. She'd suddenly want to see justice done and not things burned to the ground. Somehow, I think that's her attitude. The real attitude. 2 more reports find fault in the LAPD's handling of the summer protest, that you allowed them to happen at all. But I'm sure, the people of LA will defund you and get rid of you. So enjoy that. Again, it's what you voted for. Biden advisor Richmond. Republicans need to stop hiding behind Second Amendment. It's not meant for weapons of war. You don't know what you're talking about. As usual, the Democrats try to take away guns, and they have no idea. At this point, it's like talking to children. It's like on one side we got adults and the other side children. Children who will just say anything to get their way, and that's it. You are just absolutely obliterating the Democratic Party. At this point, I have no sympathy for any Democrat. Let your party completely disintegrate, I say, because it needs to happen. You need to send a message to the world that this idiocy has consequences. A medical examiner who ruled George Floyd's death a homicide blames police pressure for his death. That's from NBC. It's weird because it's not what I heard. What I heard was the woman who did the autopsy said that had she not known about George Floyd's condition, it would have been ruled as an overdose. But okay, NBC, whatever you say. Let's see. How an online Lego gamer infiltrated the White House press corps? What? Casey Montague posed as a reporter from a fictitious WHN and managed to fool real correspondents and even the new Biden administration. Does that surprise anybody? This is an administration who does its television appearances. It looks like 1993 on public access. I have yet to see one single speech or event videotaped by the Biden administration that didn't look absolutely horrific. I've never seen anything like it. Why would you keep the people who filmed Trump? They knew what they were doing. Oh no, you gotta get rid of them. I guess those, even the camera people must be Nazis. Oh my God. For more Chauvin trial stuff, check out Tim Pool. Chauvin trial lawyer lands slam dunk again using state's own witness. What Floyd prosecutors did well. Yeah, I think this is the one I was just referring to. Yeah, and the defense hasn't even put on their people yet. The prosecution's getting hammered by their own witnesses. Joan's very upset by it. You can hear in the background. She's on the couch. Probably sees somebody out the window. Olympic athlete Sakura Kokumai targeted an anti-Asian rant at park in California. It's amazing how many racists there are in these woke places where woke people walk around dying to be confronted by racism so they can defeat it. It always happens in those places now. It used to happen way down south and places on the outskirts. Now they happen in major cities. You know, remember when Jussie Smollett got confronted at a subway at 3 o'clock in the morning? House Ethics Committee opens Gates investigation. Well, that makes sense, of course, because it's being run by Democrats. We'll see what happens in 2022, Nancy. Prince Philip dies at age 99. Well, that's a good run. That's a good run. That's a shame for the Queen, though. That's a shame. They seem like a nice couple. But Prince Philip had a good run. I mean, you can't. 99. That's a good run. I'm sure when I'm 99, I'll be like, ooh, I feel like a young man. It's not over. State Department revokes security clearance for acting chief of staff to UN ambassador. Okay. Not sure what happened there. Was she a Trump appointee is the question. Let's see. Jennifer Davis, a career Foreign Service officer, is returning to her previous role but will aggressively appeal the decision. Jennifer Davis, the de facto chief of staff to Ambassador Linda Thomas Greenfield, a career service officer, has worked with the State Department for 18 years, with previous postings in Colombia, Mexico, and Turkey. The decision to revoke Davis's clearance came after a 3-year administrative investigation conducted by State Department Bureau of Diplomatic Security, which conducts security backgrounds, to assess whether an individual should have access to classified information. It's weird. The investigation concerned Davis's tenure as a consul general of the U.S. consulate in Istanbul, where she served from August 2016 to 2019. In that role, she had a conversation with a reporter, Amberin Zaman, of the Middle Eastern-focused news outlet Al Monitor, about a problem of local staff being hassled and detained by Turkish authorities, according to a person close to her. Zaman reported at the time that the Turkish pressure campaign was likely to expedite U.S. government plans to use visa sanctions to block certain Turkish officials from visiting the U.S., and said that a list of such officials had been drafted, citing sources close to the Donald Trump administration. Interesting. 18 years, though. Seems a bit harsh for an 18-year veteran, but, you know, anybody can be corrupted. I don't know if I talked about this. CDC director declares racism to be public health threat. Yeah, I agree. Did you hear about that Boston hospital I talked about earlier? Sounds pretty racist to me. You should be investigating them, but You know, I'm sure once we're hit by the Black Plague or, you know, we're in the middle of a pandemic, racism is probably to blame. I notice a lot of problems, and I'm noticing a lot of women in these roles. A lot of woke women. Just saying. I'm just saying. Is this mostly a woman thing? Is the woke stuff mostly women? Or is it just my imagination? Kind of thinking it's mostly women. Just saying. Biden wants to end gunmaker liability protections. That could sink the industry, advocates say. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Joe Manchin already announced he's not going to destroy the filibuster, so. Levi Strauss CEO. Oh, good. Oh, good. Another major company speaking up. When it comes to gun control, gun violence is ripping this country apart. Great. Now I can't wear jeans. Levi's are too expensive anyway, I guess. Day 72, Biden refused to blame the Nation of Islam for the Nation of Islam-inspired attack on the Capitol. No surprise there. Daily Mail exposes Hunter Biden bombshells after tell-all book holds back. Oh, I read that the other day. Yeah, this is an article from Zero Hedge. Mexico tells Biden expect constant and growing migration. Oh, good. Good, because that should help the problem on the border. Pennsylvania to remove dead voters from voter rolls following lawsuit. Why do we have to have a lawsuit to remove dead people from voter rolls? Is there some reason the life handicapped couldn't have been removed from the rolls? Unbelievable. Abortion-linked judge suppresses undercover videos of industry's operators. Well, that's weird. It's WND, though, so, yeah, they're pretty much against abortion. Joe Biden. Pope Francis says beer virus vaccine is moral obligation. So is all the other things about being Catholic, Joe, and you don't seem to do any of them. One of them, which is you should be anti-abortion, but you're not. So, I don't know, man. I mean, you're not a very good Catholic as far as I could see. Biden names 2 Democratic operatives to propose court packing plan. It's a terrible, terrible idea. Fortunately, Joe Manchin hasn't been bribed yet, so I think we're okay in that department, but we'll see. We shall see. I think even if he packs the court, he'll probably burn himself in the process. Draymond Green clarifies equal pay remarks, says he and Megan Rapinoe want same thing. Look, this woman, this soccer woman, Megan Rapinoe, I don't know who she thinks she is, why she thinks she deserves so much money, but she doesn't. Nobody, not as many people watch women's sports. Just a fact. It's just a fact. There are a few select women's sports that people really, you know, expect women to dominate, like ice skating, gymnastics, maybe swimming, handful of others, you know, graceful sports, not aggressive sports. There's no mystery of why you're not getting paid. It's no mystery. This is just grifting, gender grifting. We've had race grifting, now we have gender grifting. Stop it. You're an embarrassment. Ted Cruz, Republican senator, says Biden funding to Palestinians violates anti-terror law. Perhaps it's probably a bunch of money we don't need to spend anyway, considering our current situation, which is a bit dire. While I feel for the Palestinians, at the same time, I'd rather not spend any money on foreign stuff. Thank you. So could we cut that? Could we cut it all? Probably not. Kamala Harris says real people support gun control, but she supports abortion. Just shut up. Oh my God. Ah, these headlines make my head hurt. She's going to be president. I know. Brace yourself. Geez, there's another football player. Ex-Giants wide receiver Travis Rudolph remains in custody on murder charge as new details emerge. What is it with football players murdering people recently? That's not good. Not good at all. Democrat rep holds patent for softball pants manufactured in China. Okay. I'm not sure. I mean, obviously you shouldn't have stuff in China at this point in time. That is a dumb thing. Take your patent, remove it from China, have the softball pants built elsewhere, because that's putting pressure on you. It's not a good thing. Not a good thing. Black students responsible for racist graffiti at American college. My God, how many more hoaxes are we going to see in the news? It's just unbelievable. You're just I said this on Twitter. You're searching for dragons to destroy at this point. These racist events all seem to happen near woke people now, and seems to happen to woke people. Look, I'm old enough to remember racism when it was bad, and it was bad, but it was also born of ignorance and stupidity. So it was very random, very haphazard. It wasn't organized. This isn't a cabal of evil white people who are doing this nonstop. But now we're getting it every time something happens. I mean, it's newsworthy. If it bleeds, it leads. And this is a hot topic, and man, news people just love it. They can't get enough. They're addicted. It's like they're crack. So you gotta just not report it until you know what the facts are. And really, racist graffiti? Is that even a thing? Is that even a story? What? Why are you... Just paint it over. Paint it over. Find the people responsible and paint it over. It's not national news anymore. It never was. Back in the 70s, if you sat in any men's room stall to do your business, you'd see racist graffiti. Almost every time. Almost every single time. For decades after. And you know what? It got painted over. No one knew who did it. It was probably some idiot kid being an a-hole. It got painted over. That's all what happened. Or people would cross it out. It's not national news. Okay? It's just not national news. Donald Trump endorses Senator Marco Rubio. Well, Rubio's been on good behavior, I gotta say. He's coming around to the populist way. He certainly doesn't want to get his head kicked in by Trump. I think he learned that lesson. So, yeah, maybe he could be a good guy, like Cruz, you know. Illegal migrants being held outside overnight, report says. Yeah, there's not enough room for them in these facilities. They're being held under bridges. It's ridiculous. Arizona's Ducey signs bill protecting state gun laws from federal legislation. Okay, that's good. Tennessee, the 20th state to abolish concealed permit requirement. Well, I'm in New Jersey, so we'll be the 50th. That's all I know. Oh my God. Hotel mogul Sir Richard Sutton stabbed to death in Dorset home. Wow, that's crazy. He's one of Britain's wealthiest men. You think he would have had better security. My God. See, you can get rid of the guns. He's still getting stabbed. Joe Biden stresses background checks for guns as Hunter Biden accused of lying on a gun form. Yeah, I mean, there's no scale to even begin to measure the hypocrisy of the Bidens. He is an absolute abject failure, in my view, as a father and as a president. To allow this hypocrisy, I mean, look, at least come out and acknowledge your son broke the law. At least Give him a slap on the wrist. Something. No. Rules for thee, but not for me. Wow, there's a lot of dark news. Just a lot of dark news. Mothers murdering their own children. It's terrible. PayPal co-founder Peter Thiel criticizes Google and Apple for being too close to China. Yeah. Okay. Good. Some rich guys finally getting on board. Just about done here. Turkey confirms 2 warships to enter Black Sea as Ukraine posturing grows. Try not to start World War III, Biden. Background checks no longer required for Tennessee. Good. And yeah, in the UK, Lawrence Fox is going back and forth with a trans woman who, I think she's trans, who they got into an argument on Twitter, and he called her a child diddler, and he called him nasty names too. So it's like, what? Why is that even news? Why is that even a lawsuit? I don't know. Cops released 911 calls from ex-NFL player Philip Adams' mass shooting in Rock Hill. That's just awful. 2 NFL guys. I mean, could this concussion thing really be the cause? Could it be that the concussion drove these guys to the brink? I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I am full of opinions, as you know. So please check out my other opinions on Bitchute and Rumble. Bitchute and Rumble exclusive today. Don't forget. Check out my books. Also full of opinions, especially Wokistan, a novel. Hollywoke, another novel. The Pineys, not full of opinions, but full of comedy and horror. Books 1 through 6. The big announcement today. Oh, I almost forgot. I finally set up a Webcomic Factory merch store, which I'll be talking about in the coming weeks. Right now, it's just got Webcomic Factory logo stuff. If you want to get a Webcomic Factory shirt or a shower curtain, I'm probably going to get a few of them. But the thing is, we're going to be doing more merch for the Webcomic Factory, Super Frat, and the Pineys, and anything else we can think of. So look for that in the coming weeks. The link is in the description at the bottom somewhere. So check out that. And that's about it. Oh, and tomorrow, Saturday, April 10th, I will be at the Ocean City Music Pier, 10 to 4, for the Comics and Memorabilia Show. Come on out if you're in the area. I'll sign some books, comics. I think I even still have some shirts left. So that's it for me. See ya tomorrow.